Hello everyone, welcome to HillBro. This video is for everyone who has been following HillBro for the purpose of the Mutant Cat build. As explained in the last video, a lot has happened in life, a lot has happened in around the world the past few years. And we unfortunately had to take that machine and kind of put it in the corner. But over the past few years, I have been working on it. We had the idea, the goal to turn the Mutant Cat into the YXXZ, which would be the YXZ drivetrain in the XX chassis, in a continual effort to make this machine unstoppable and kind of push the industry, have something different than everyone else, in hopes to just have a really cool, fun machine that we could cruise 10,000 miles through the desert with without any issues. And so the video you're about to watch is a compilation of footage I have gathered throughout the past few years of getting the Mutant Cat to where it is today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the journey of the creation of the Mutant Cat YXXZ.
Bonus time.
I don't know these auctions very well. That's got to be what it is. Going through salvage resellers, and the Florida bid must be mine. I think that's us. I think we just got it. Well guys, if that was the Florida, if Florida was the one bidding for me, because I did it through a broker, then we just got this on approval. If they'll accept that offer, we're gonna head to Reno and we're gonna pick up this YXZ and we're gonna start building the Mutant Cat into the YXXZ, baby. YXXZ is the way it should have been the whole time. YXZ transmission drivetrain with the double X chassis, perfect mix. Already has the Yamaha motor in it. Dude, it's gonna be killer, and I can't wait to make more videos of it. Well guys, won the auction. Unfortunately, we couldn't find anyone to ship the thing, so it's 10 o'clock at night. Got to be in Reno by 9 o'clock in the morning. Got the rusty trusty Ram and the flatbed ready to go. Little Riker. We're gonna go travel through the night and go pick it up. Start this project. Let's do it. Top off while we begin. Get as far as we can. Well, we drove all through the night and made it to Reno. So
like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's actually about 7 o'clock here. And we're hungry, so guess what? Denny's! So while in Reno, I decided to pick something else up because my family's kind of into the RC stuff. You've probably seen our HillBro RC channel. Anyways, while we're down here picking up the side-by-side, I made a special stop for a surprise for my wife because she's starting to like the RC crawlers. And so we picked her up an RC crawler. There it is. Got her a brand new Bronco, brand new Ford Bronco, all loaded and ready to go. Copart, YXZ, here we come. Well guys, got it all picked up. Little smashed up, little banged up. Big old rear left corner is all mashed up. It's pushed the chassis all the way over here. Can't even close the door. I mean, it's pretty mangled. But the important thing, motor looks like it's in good shape, hasn't been modified. You can tell by the valves here that they haven't been tampered with, which is always the first thing you do when you mess with the YXZ. Actually in pretty clean condition. It is leaking oil, but I think it's leaking out of the reservoir, so I don't think it has any issue with the motor. Transmission, what we're looking for, up in there. So when buying these things sight unseen, it's obvious that there's always that gamble of surprises, things that you hope aren't bad. But by the signs of the tires and the wear and tear on the normal components, you can tell it hasn't had a ton of miles. And in fact, I'd suspect it's under 400 miles. You can see the back tires are a little wore, but it looks like they're melted, meaning the last time this was run, and the reason why they're wore down as much as they are is because it was probably doing drifting or burnouts or something like that. But you look at the front tires, they all still have their knobs, and the top of these treads are all there. So I suspect this is very low miles, but I couldn't tell because I couldn't turn it on and check the miles. With that, I was worried that maybe the ECU was gone. But actually, I looked into the hatch here. The ECU is right here. So we're good with all the electronics. It could have been just a bad battery and they couldn't jump it. Who knows still, we got to get it back and check. But so far so good. All in all, this is exciting, you guys. All loaded up, on our way back home. Let's get working. Got ourselves a nasty wreck up here. Truck on fire. Holy moly. Just to show how many trucks are on the road. It's about a mile and a half and growing fast. Traffic back up. Semi truck off the road on fire. Count your blessings. Yeah, not getting any power. Let's see if we can't put power to this thing and see how many miles, because I really don't know. Huh. There we go. Got some power. 72 miles. Dude, we just scored a brand new YXZ, you guys. This thing only has 72 miles on it. Now, obviously, we don't know the full extent of what's going on here because we got, looks like we got a transmission light on, engine light on. They're probably just sensors that went off when it wrecked. But 72 miles, you guys. Brand new YXZ right here to put in the YXXZ or my Mutant Cat. So I'm excited. I think we got ourselves a good buy. Let's strip this machine so that we can start getting the parts off of it and trying to see what we have to do to get the transmission, engine, and wiring harness and everything in the Mutant Cat. Well, we've been stripping it down. Look at all these parts. Yeah, getting it down to the core, getting to what we need. So, first day or so, stripping it down, and we've already sold $1,000 worth of stuff. I think we got the hubs gone, the spindles gone, the tires and wheels almost gone. And, well, a few more things to sell. Hopefully we can sell all the stuff we don't need to make our money back as much as possible, but I really feel like this is going to work. We're going to be able to get this transmission and this motor into the double X the way it needs to be, as well as components like this. This would be really easy to install onto the double X, and we'll try and put the center console into it. Probably have to use this cluster because it's got the paddle shift on it. The things that are kind of concern that'll be kind of a trick is we're going to have to use the YXZ wiring harness for everything. And the YXZ just uses different things for hookups on the power steering, and the brakes, and the throttling. And so I don't want to have to use this whole throttle braking system, but we may have to. It's getting there. What a mess. Been working away at this project. We've done quite a bit of stuff here. I'll show you. So you can see that we have the double X all tore down, and we're just putting in the transmission mounts and the motor mounts. And the way we did it was we actually cut out the mounts of the YXZ chassis and then made them fit onto the chassis of the double X. Of course, I still have some more things to do. I need to put square tube cross member there and there to support the ends of the mounts. But yeah, everything fits in the welding room, so we can consolidate all the dirt and dust, grinding and welding from the main building portion, which is nice. It's always nice to be able to keep everything in one spot. But we'll continue working on the project. A couple other things actually here. These were our modified shock mounts for long travel. This was stock. This is our long travel position with longer shocks. I'm actually removing all this. I'm gonna actually mount the shocks in a different way, kind of a cool way that'll look unique that we haven't seen on a side-by-side yet. We got the motor and transmission fit into the chassis. There's a couple little tweaks we need to make, but all in all, that thing actually fits really good. Let me turn this around real quick. See, we got the drive shaft or the output shaft from the motor to the transmission lined up really well. I got to finish welding the tacks. Tacked it into place in case there was any major changes we had to do. We still have to finish this part of the motor mount on the passenger side. Trying to figure out exactly the best way to hold that tight. Make it out of some big old square tubing, or rectangle tubing. And but anyways, there it is. That is coming together nicely. Notice that even with the flywheel and everything, we don't have to chew away the rest of the chassis. We could even still possibly run the stock sway bar position. I was worried about having to cut all that out, but it looks like it clears it just barely. And yeah, it's getting there. It's a lot of work and a lot of work still to do, but yippee-ki-yay. Another day, another task on the double X project. We've gotten, let me turn this around again. So we've got the transmission mount in there. This is drilled. I'm going to put a tube in there and then drill it. So it just so happens that the drain plug of the transmission ends up being right there. And so there isn't much you can do about it other than drill a hole, put a tube. I don't think it's really going to hurt the strength of the chassis as is. But it's not going to be raced officially in like a score race anyways. This is what we've been working on today. Moving this bar to the old shock position. You may ask why I'm doing that. Well, with our wide travel, long travel suspension, if you notice, this bar is starting to tweak up. It's a common problem with the double X's when you race them is these will get weak, they'll break, they'll bend. And it's all because of the forces of the shock tower or the shock pushing up on this portion here. And so the other problem we have, or the double X has, is if you race it a lot and abuse it a lot with a wide suspension, it puts a lot of stress on that attachment right there and will break it. And a lot of it has to do with how far the shock is from the tire, where the suspension has a lot of this. In fact, our suspension, our wide kit, was twisting. And obviously we could have built the suspension better, but there's also a better way to do this. And it'll actually be a cool way to do this. I'm actually going to be mounting the shock here. It's going to be out about 6 inches. And it will come out on the trailing arm as well. So it'll be closer to the tire. You won't have so much twisting and torquing on the trailing arm. You'll have a lot less stress on that point, no stress on that point. All the stress goes up into the frame as it should. I think it'll look really, really cool, and I think it'll function really, really well. And yeah, so what we did, cut it off there, heated it up, bent it, made a little slip joint where we'll weld it up. Oh, what a messy shop. But yeah, oh, that looks so cool. Cut that out, put a shock mount. It's a pretty chopped up job. No, obviously it's a cut and splice. You're not building a whole new chassis to real tight tolerances. So I know it's not amazing, but I think it's pretty cool. And it will be pretty cool when we run it. In fact, I would put hopefully if I can get the differential that I need in the rear, attach the drivetrain all together. Everyone knows the XX handles extremely well for what it is. And I would be ready to put it up against most vehicles. Obviously, I'm not an experienced racer like for the scores, but I don't know, for the machine, I think it'd be pretty good. It's the direction the OEMs need to go, for sure.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that quick montage of the process it's taken to get the YXXZ or the Mutant Cat to the point it is now. I kind of explained in the past video the reason why there's such a huge gap in between the previous videos until now is, well, there's, like I say, a lot going on in life, but also that right there, I do have the rear differential. It took a while to figure out what differential I needed to run and why, and then when I finally figured out the route I needed to go, it took quite a bit of time to actually get that thing over. It was imported internationally, and it just took a lot of time to get that in my possession. But we have it now, and now we're getting close to where we can start finishing the Mutant Cat YXXZ. We were able to finish the subframe where the motor and the differential mount. Made our own mounting cradles and brackets. We'll secure the top of this rear differential as well. Put a support here so you don't get any torquing from the top of the diff. This is kind of the idea of what we're doing with the shock mounts into the cage of the machine. And there's a look at our new trailing arm that I am going to test. It is a little bit longer. I do have some concerns about how much leverage, if I were to ever land this machine on the side or drift it and snag a rear end, if the extra length of that swing arm is going to put too much leverage on the attachment points. I am going to set up axles that if I need to, I can rebuild these trailing arms and make them shorter again, and my axles will be adjustable for that length. Hopefully that will work. Hopefully we don't run into any problems with this, but like I say, I'm just kind of pushing the boundaries without being an engineer. One of the things that we're going to have to work around on the interior of this project is because we put the transmission in the cockpit of the machine, I didn't realize how wide the YXZs are to accommodate for that transmission, but because the transmission's in there, I've got to push the seats out a little bit. It's just going to make it really snug on the latch of the door, and then the chassis of the machine, as well as really close to the transmission. We'll be able to get it fitted in there, no big deal, but because I don't want to chop all the mounting points for the cluster and the steering wheel, we are going to be a little bit, we're not going to be centered with the seat and the steering wheel. It will be over just a little bit, but it'll be similar to the 2000 Cat Eye GMC pickup truck Silverados. If you don't know, all the Chevy pickup trucks are that way. Lots of people don't know that. And like always, I really appreciate all of you guys supporting HillBro, and we are getting excited to finish this build finally, hopefully once and for all, and to be able to get out and ride with all of you guys out on the dunes and out in the desert. Thank you for your support, and thanks for watching HillBro. See you next time.